Hi guys, this is Wenzes. Welcome back to my Enneagram series, and this time we're talking about type 9. So type 9 is all about a peace of mind, right? They want to make sure that there's a stable life going on, that everything's okay, like they're willing to grow, but it's still like this, they don't want to have any tension. So there's a lot of things going on preventing them to move forward if they're so concentrated on keeping that peace and keeping that order. Like their biggest fear is just loss, separation. So if they get into situations with other people and they're not careful, they can be very self-neglecting because they're so eager to keep the peace that are willing to sacrifice themselves and like what they want and what's important to them. Because the most important thing is peace and harmony. And if that means that you have to like stay back and not really say what's on your mind, then that's what they're gonna do. You have 9w1, which are called the dreamer. So there's a lot of influence, as you can imagine, and that means that you have such high expectation of not only peace and harmony, but also on like what is morally right. So the wishes you have for the world are so far away from what's really happening. So you feel on the one hand, yes, I want peace and harmony, and I want to save the world, and I want to make sure I'm like really the best friend and never like doing something where people might think that I'm not morally okay. And it's not even so much what other people think, it's just like the pressure you put on yourself. And so there's like a big gap between what's happening in real life, what's necessary for you to do, and what your ideal is. Because we all know, like, even if you have an ideal, sometimes you have to, for example, set boundaries. And that means saying no to people, hurting people for a brief moment because they've overstepped your boundaries. So you know, okay, I have to do that in order to create boundaries again, and then we can move forward. 9w8 are called the referees. So there's this fighter thing in them. That's like, I'm a 9w8, and for me, my favorite superhero when I was small was Wonder Woman. And it was always this way of, I played to be Wonder Woman, went out, and when people were fighting, I was there to like break them off and say like, stop fighting, be friends. So on the one hand, I really wanted to make sure that I have peace and harmony, and I was going to step in to create that. That's, I think, what's called referee. You go in there and you want to create harmony by being somebody who understands both sides and tries to find harmony within that. Type 9 is part of the instinctual types. So like type 8, type 9, and type 1. And they can connect to their core self due to anger. So with each type it's a little different. For 9, it means that we can't really connect to anger. We don't want to feel anger. If you talk to 9s who haven't really taken the step to integration, they'll tell you, I'm never angry. Like, what is there to be angry about? Everything is fine. But the thing is this, when you tell yourself everything's fine, of course you have no reason to change things. But when you're never angry, there's something not right, because anger is a very natural emotion in humans. And just like shame and anxiety, how it is with the other types, for those types it's anger. And the 9 specifically has a big problem like realizing that anger in themselves, specifically because they feel, once I really express that anger, once I feel that anger first and foremost, like how can there be harmony? How can there be a peace of mind? Like, I'm gonna separate myself from you once I express that anger. You're gonna leave me once I express that anger. And 9s are so scared of it, so they don't express it in the first place. So that comes out like disintegrating into a 6. 6 are all about systems. So for example, let's say you have a friend like you're 9 and you have a friend, and that friend lives in a specific system, or of course every person has their own system they live by, then you're just gonna stick to that system of that friend. That's all you're gonna focus on, because like stepping out of that system would mean maybe getting angry at yourself and also at them for always following their path and their lead and what they want. And you would have separation. It would mean like, okay, I have to be on my own. I have to be separated in a way in order to really get out of that system and be myself and really make sure that I move forward. And the solution is, of course, accepting that anger. Like letting all that anger out and that rage out, because that rage gives you, first off, like drive. It gives you motivation to keep on going forward, and you need to express that anger in order to feel like the pain underneath that you have been collecting over and over again because you've been so self-neglecting. So that's when 9s integrate into a 3. So they make sure that they want to achieve something. So they are willing to separate themselves, that they're okay with this anger and separation that's going to happen. They get through the pain of being separated, and then they build something that can sustain this harmony and peace of mind for a longer time by really like having their values on display and going forward with them. So they really want to achieve something. They're willing to step out of the mold, because once you step out, there is a separation in the beginning, but then nobody bothers you because you already separated yourself. And then you keep on moving forward, and then you just like gather people who believe in what you're saying, and you're bringing value to people who believe in your system. So you're directly saying, okay, I'm separating myself. I'm not going into a 6, meaning like in this case, the system of somebody else or the system of society, but I'm like separating myself. I'm okay with this anger that comes with it, with the pain. And then you're just gonna allow people in your space who are willing to keep that peace that is so sacred to you. That's it for type 9. If you want to know more about it and the integration, I already did 2 videos on type 9, so you can find them in the cards here. And if you really want to have just like a little guide that helps you on what to do in order to integrate, you can download the poster. It's in the description. Thanks so much for watching. I wish you a great day, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.